Morning Roast is live on YouTube right now. Take it away, Bonta.
What's up, Steph? Steph Curry, of course, 39 points, 9 assists, 8 threes. You know, that was the 38th time that Steph and Clay has hit 5 threes in the same game together. And that feels low. 38 times. It doesn't feel low.
It does.
Clay hit 7 threes. Steph hit 8 threes. 39 points, 9 assists. Tough. We're going to get to the calls in just a second.
Well, can we just...
Yeah, well, I want to play some Draymond sound because you teased Draymond, but go ahead.
Well, no, it's just... I'm seeing it all over, everybody talking about, like, the bench, the young guys, they're ruining everything. They should have a 25-point lead by the time the starters get back into the game. Look, the bench is not good. I'm not here to cape up for the bench. It's not good. They have downgraded their bench from just last year, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone wants to scream and yell about GP2. They miss Otto Porter Jr. They miss his physicality, his positionless, basketball on the offensive end where he can get offensive rebounds. He could stretch the floor. I thought he was smart. He would get to the free throw line at times. Defensively, he was underrated. I thought he was a very nice piece. They miss him right now. All right, they absolutely do. They miss GP2.
And GP2 hasn't played yet for Portland, but they do miss him.
They still haven't found that backup point guard, and that is bothering them right now. Yeah. I'm not here to say that the bench is good. What I am here to say is that their problems are deeper than just the bench. Mm-hmm. And I do think that if you just replace some of the bench players and had comparable, bench minutes, it would look better. But they still would have a lead late in games, and I would look back at execution late in games when you have a lead or when you're chasing by 1 or 2, getting stops, staying out of foul trouble. Basic passes where you're not turning it over unforced.
Right.
Basic dribbling where guys are picking. Jalen Suggs picking Steph Curry's pocket.
Twice. In crunch time. Twice.
Okay?
Twice.
If you want to have a conversation, let's be realistic. It's not all on the bench. The bench is back.
Well, the bench yesterday got outscored 45-23.
It is.
45-23. The bench mob has to be led by Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole last night.
Stinky right now.
Jordan Poole right now has had a funky 2 games in Florida. Maybe he needs to get out the state of Florida because Miami and Orlando, he was not too good. 11 points last night, 4-12 from the floor, 1 of 5 from 3, had no flow to his game, played no defense. Was not good. Not good at all. Wiseman, not good at all last night. And a lot of people just, they want you to just crush James Wiseman. That's the low-hanging fruit. It's the low-hanging fruit. Let's just crush 21-year-old James Wiseman. I'm here to tell you right now, he's not playing good basketball.
He looks emotionally demoralized.
This road trip has been one to forget for James Wiseman. It's been a forgettable road trip for him.
Look, the thing is, B, like any observer would tell you right now, on the court, he can't stay on the floor. He's not doing anything to help them.
Nope.
And then emotionally, he looks completely rattled. Like, that's the only way I can describe it. He looks rattled.
And look, he's not getting better on the floor. Maybe a G League stint helps him. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's just a botched pick. At some point, the Warriors are going to have to decide, you know what, this didn't work out. We pivot, we don't panic, and we move on. He was a number 2 overall pick. I saw flashes of hope his rookie season. He gets hurt. The knee's messed up. He has to rehab all that time. This ain't Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson had already been established in the NBA. Mm-hmm. James Wiseman's trying to establish himself.
Well, and he's
only got 48 regular season games under his belt. The guy's played 51 games since the fall of 2019. 51 games. Think about that, Shasky.
I know.
51 games since the fall of 2019. He hasn't gotten better. He didn't play any college. Didn't play minimal G League. He needs reps, but when you're trying to win, and right now he's not earning them minutes.
But here's the other part, though, B, and I don't mean to interrupt you. So, like, everyone, you play Jonathan Kuminga. I'm with that. Like, give Jonathan Kuminga an opportunity. But let's be realistic here as well. He's another young player who's going to have ups and downs. Now, will he be better than Wiseman? You sure hope, because he can't get much worse than Wiseman. But here's the thing. He will make mistakes as well. So I'm looking at someone like Jermichael Green, okay? And if we came out here and said, Jermichael Green is the reason that the Warriors are 3-7, people would sit here and they go, well, that's stupid. You're paying Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Andrew Wiggins a boatload of money. Jordan Poole, a boatload of money moving forward, okay? Kevon Looney is a 3-time champion who was amazing in the playoffs. You're yelling about Jermichael Green?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying here,
Michael Green was not good yesterday.
but what I'm hearing, no, he wasn't.
He wasn't.
But what I'm saying is like Wiseman, Moody. You want to pick on these guys,
Right.
Michael Green? I'm here for it. They stink. But let's also use the same energy for the $180 million payroll of the top 6 guys.
Well, again, the starters. I mean, the Orlando Magic scored 30 in the first quarter yesterday. They scored 43 in the third quarter. You can say, well, the game flipped when James Wiseman came in. Well, they were actually down 11 when James Wiseman came in, and they already had momentum.
They were down 11.
they were up 11.
Okay,
the Warriors.
that's what I thought. Okay.
So it was 90-75. Next thing you know, it's 90-79. Wiseman enters the game.
Yeah.
And then they're still got momentum when they're rolling. But it wasn't all on Wiseman. There's a pull turnover where he doesn't look behind him.
Yep.
R.J. Hampton strips him from the back behind him and then goes the other way for a layup. So it's not all on Wiseman. But I will admit right now, because I'm a big Wiseman fan,
He's training the.
he's got to go to the G League.
No, I'm with you.
His screen setting is atrocious. Contesting shots is atrocious.
His feel for where to be on the floor.
Feel for rebounding, atrocious. He's just not an NBA player at this second. He's got to go to the G League.
But he checked out of that game. So, for example, you referenced that point, and then Looney comes in, and then he gets hit with an and one, right? So, like, you could say, momentum. Well, really? Momentum is why Kevon Looney fouls. And we all love Kevon Looney. We know he's a winner.
Right.
But, like, Looney is the reason that they and won somebody. Is it Wiseman's fault that Curry didn't box out somebody on that and one where and then he ended up getting the technical? That was his fault. But my point is things are deeper than them. And yes, they're not good. I admit that. No one is denying that. But to say that solves everything, like, for example, you get Miles Turner. Okay. Is he closing? No. Are you playing him over Kevon Looney late in games? No.
But I think a Warrior fan...
Is he going to help Jordan Poole stay in front of somebody? No.
But let me tell you this. Miles Turner maybe stabilizes games at the end of the first quarter. That's what somebody may say.
You know what? That's a fair point.
He may stabilize a game to where if you're up 12 and the starters leave the game, maybe they come back in, they're up 8. They still have a lead. That's the problem. The bench has been so bad, they can't hold any leads.
I don't deny that.
They can't hold any leads, so that's a problem. You just want to see them, if you give up a basket, go score at the other end. They look clunky on both sides.
But okay, let me again. Their starters are also giving up a ton of points too, late in games.
No doubt.
Their athleticism is not solved because they added a competent big who's going to play 12 minutes a game. Now, I agree. That would be a help. It would help them out. But it feels to me they have deeper issues. And I start with the C word, chemistry, and I'm going to keep going back to it. I'm waiting for one call to come in and tell me that you can't think about this punch when you watch this team and how joyless they are. It feels like the cloud that's hovering over everything.
It's tough. Combinations. Here's what Steve Kerr had to say about different lineup combinations.
Oh, everybody's going to get a chance to play. We've got guys who are dying to get on the floor, and we've got to find combinations that click. So we'll discuss that as a staff, and we'll figure that out.
Here's more Kerr from last night.
We're looking at James and JK and Moses in a big picture way. So you don't get these guys who basically play, 3 college games in James's case, or 12 G League games in JK's case. It doesn't happen overnight. So the development plan is something that we're looking at comprehensively every day. These guys are working. There's going to be times where they're in the rotation. There's going to be times where they're not. The season will dictate all of that. I think, it's been a tough couple games for James, but I'm a believer. I love his talent, his attitude, but there's no shortcut for all this. It's, you got to go through your lumps as an extremely young player with little to no experience. It takes time.
And going through his lumps on a team that is searching for a back-to-back championship, their 5th ring in the last 9 years, searching for joy, searching for camaraderie. And that's where we get to Draymond Green. Because being around the stadium, and we're both lucky to be in this business. Everybody, to this day, that punch is not going anywhere. And I'm not blaming the losses on the punch. But, for example, if we had this show, right, and you punched me, and you cursed me out or whatnot, our chemistry would be off.
Oh, 100%.
Couldn't unsee it.
Yeah.
Now, on the
when
basketball
we argue
court,
about having a guest on, our chemistry takes a slight hit.
So I hear from all the people who say, well, fights happen in practice. We have Baldy on. Baldy, how many fights you get into? Goes, I got in a couple. But the guy who hit me, I never forgave him. And I've never forgotten about it. And I've never talked to him since. That's 20, 30 years later. 20, 30 years later. So when you look at the chemistry of this team and the trust that Draymond lost from the starters, now Draymond can't be Draymond. Now Poole is overthinking. He does feel subdued, right?
Draymond,
right.
I misdiagnosed it, and I'll let you continue, B. But
Right.
I was like, you can go right up to the edge, but don't, scream and yell at your teammates. And now I'm like, no, he looks totally like he lost his superpowers.
It's like telling T.O. not to talk trash.
Yeah, I was wrong.
Yeah. But when you do something like that, it hurts. It hurts the team. Like it's
no doubt.
So there's a chemistry issue.